Greetings and welcome to another one of my video presentations. These are the subjects of today's discussion. Number one, comparisons between the Bahamas and Jamaica visitor numbers. Number two, spreading the tourism industry equitably to all 14 parishes in Jamaica. Number three, the 300,000 Jamaican diasporas that are yearning to go home. Fourth and final, Singapore, which is smaller than St. Elizabeth, has more visitors than Jamaica. Today's topic is, to match Bahamas tourism industry, Jamaica would need 54 million visitors each year. Before I start today's subject, I want to put in a disclaimer that this post is not meant to decry Jamaica in any way, shape, or form. It is meant to demonstrate the gap between Jamaica and the Bahamas visitor numbers, with the intentions that the Jamaican government will take the correct actions to rapidly increase visitor numbers to Jamaica. Having said the above, let's get started. Now, the Bahamas has a population of 413,000 people, 2023 figures. Now, while the Bahamas has visitor numbers of 8 million visitors 2023, that is a visitor number of 19.4 times the population size of Bahamas. Hence, for Jamaica, with a population of 2.825 million people in 2023, for us to match or to equal that ratio would take visitor numbers to Jamaica to 54.8 million visitors. Those with some knowledge of tourism industry will say it's because Bahamas is a much larger country than Jamaica. They have many small islands, and it's mainly cruise ship visitors, etc., etc. On the other hand, yet when I showcase Barbados having more visitors than Jamaica per capita, they said it is because Barbados is a small country, is flat, and everywhere is in nearby each other, etc., etc. Then they have another excuse for Singapore, etc. But we need to tackle the falling visitor numbers in Jamaica and stop making excuses why other countries are leaving Jamaica behind. The government of Jamaica needs to think seriously about using the tourism industry to develop Jamaica. Just focusing on Kingston and Montego Bay alone will create an unequal Jamaica, with the continued crime and violence that had plagued Jamaica since the 1980s. We need to use the full length and breadth of Jamaica for our tourism product. The government needs to develop a policy that will limit the amount of hotels in any one parish until all the other parishes get a fair share of a specific number of all-inclusive hotels. It is the large all-inclusive hotels that can develop any towns or cities in Jamaica the quickest way. The tourism industry has a capacity to make Jamaica as wealthy as Singapore. However, the government needs to understand that tourism is just the means to an end, but not the end in itself. For example, by using the tourism industry to develop all the parishes in Jamaica, this will open up the country for many other unimaginable possibilities. The tourism minister seems to have this attitude that tourism should not spread to areas in Jamaica where the infrastructures such as health centers and sufficient security are not in place. However, when we are talking about an extra US $10 billion each year adding to the Jamaican economy, then all those infrastructures can be put in place between the time when the franchises are handed out and the completion of the hotels, which usually takes about 5 years. There is no way that a small country like Singapore should have more tourists than Jamaica. Yet they have 19 million visitors in 2019 compared to Jamaica's 4 million visitors. St. Elizabeth is 1.5 times bigger than Singapore. Hence, technically, St. Elizabeth alone could have more tourists than Singapore. By using tourism industry to develop St. Elizabeth with proper roads such as dual carriageway leading from one town to the other, among other infrastructures mentioned earlier, then the above mentioned developments in St. Elizabeth, though initially to serve the visitors going to the large all-inclusive hotels, which should be built in St. Elizabeth, the Jamaican diaspora will take keen notice and start to return to their rural parishes in Jamaica, not just St. Elizabeth, as well. However, the US $1 trillion bonus is that it is not just the Jamaican diaspora that will be taking notice. The African diaspora will be taking notice as well. The attraction for the African diaspora is that if they settle in Jamaica instead of returning to Africa, as some has already started doing, they may have easier access to the USA from Jamaica rather than some parts of Africa. Remember that all the African diaspora wanted in the first place is to be in a country without the prejudice. Hence, Jamaica will do them well. Hence, the 300,000 Jamaican diaspora that are yearning to return to Jamaica is just the start of something much bigger than that. There are also over 40 million African diasporas just a couple hours flight from Jamaica. They are also yearning to be among their people as well. In the same way, how some Jamaicans are heading to Africa countries, which is safer than Jamaica, many Africans will start heading to Jamaica as well if the government develops all of Jamaica. Hence, as much as 3 million diasporas could be heading to Jamaica if 6% of the African diasporas decided to settle in Jamaica. This would bring Jamaica population size in line with Singapore. Bearing in mind that Singapore is smaller than St. Elizabeth, or about the same size as St. James and Hanover put together. Yet they have a population of 6 million people. Jamaica and Singapore got independence 1 year apart. They both have the same population size back in the 1960s. However, today, Singapore population is twice the size of Jamaica's population. It was Singapore's neighbors that looks like them, mainly Chinese, who helped to populate that country and make it rich. The same could happen to Jamaica if a small percentage of the African Americans in the USA decide to settle in Jamaica, along with just 10% of the Jamaican diaspora, who may decide that it's safe enough to return home. This is the US $1 trillion bonanza that awaits Jamaica if it can get its house in order. This is part 17 of my current theme. Look out for Part 18. Thanks for watching this video. Support this channel. Please click on the subscribe button, share this video, and leave your comments below. God bless you. God bless the Jamaican Parliament, and God bless Jamaica. Until my next video, peace.